Welcome back to the Brick by Brick podcast. I'm Tyler Webster, CEO of Old Mill Building Products. I have with me today Kirk Harris, our Vice President of Marketing, and a special guest, Liz Pacini, at Liz Pacini on Instagram, a content creator that has done a lot of projects with us, and we're excited to get to know her a little bit better here in one of my favorite places in the world, Kauai. So Liz, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's been awesome so far.
I'm glad you're having a good time.
Yeah.
So we really want to know in the origin story, what started your Instagram page? How did you get involved? And we'd love to hear.
It's a longer story than it might seem. I actually started this Instagram page in 2018. I was working as a structural engineer in Boulder, and Instagram was kind of blowing up at the time. And I saw girls posting their outfits online. And I was like, that's an easy way to make money. I should do that. So I tried my hand at it. And the thing about me is I'm super casual with what I wear. So that niche wasn't quite the right fit. And ironically, at the time, my husband and I had just purchased our first fixer-upper. So, that kind of fizzled out. I had grown to like 10,000 followers with fashion and was just striving for like more social interactions throughout my day. So I left my structural engineering job and I became a realtor. And I transitioned my Instagram page into promoting my real estate business. And that kind of taught me how to gain clients on Instagram, and just connect with people that want to be homeowners, basically. And after we decided to move, first, let me back up. We had our first child. We decided to move to Tennessee, where I was from. So we bought our second fixer-upper. And I felt kind of lost because I didn't have a job. I didn't really know anybody. And I knew I could make our fixer-upper beautiful. And I remember looking at DIY creators online and I was super inspired by them. But I was also like, that's a lot of work because I know how hard it is to renovate a house, but then to also like film all the footage and edit it and post it. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to go for it. So it was, I think, maybe spring of 2023, I posted my first remodel project on Instagram, and it was a bathroom remodel, and it went viral for me. At the time, it got like 800,000 views or something, and I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do, and I was so excited. And then from there, I just kept renovating our house like I would have anyways, but I recorded everything and got into video editing and just learned a ton. And now here we are.
That's awesome. I want to unpack that a little bit because a lot of people I know would love to do that, but like they would get scared of, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. So
yeah,
what background did you have that said, yeah, I can go renovate a house?
I mean, just delusion. Like I've always been a dreamer. Like a great example is when we bought our second fixer-upper, this past summer, I really wanted to lime wash the house. I wanted it, and I wanted to add a front porch. And nobody in the neighborhood had really done that. But I knew it could be beautiful, but our house is 2 stories and it's really tall, and we have a walkout basement. So like the brick is really tall. Anyways, I was just like, I'm just going to start lime washing it. And like, I'll figure it out as I go. And that's what I did. I mean, I really just figured it out. I bought a super long extension pole from Home Depot. I mean, I made friends with the Home Depot people and like we chatted about how I could maybe do this myself. And ended up hiring out a handyman to get like the super tall peaks that my extension pole couldn't reach. But you just have to start. I mean, you just got to do it and figure it out as you go. That's my theory. Because like, what's the worst that could happen? Your house is going to be half painted for a year until you save enough to have somebody else come and do it. I don't know. I mean, I just knew I could figure it out. And yeah, I'm always tell people just start. I think that's the best thing that you can do is just start and figure it out. Yeah.
That's awesome. What do you find resonates most with your followers?
I think a lot of people are unhappy in their home and they think if they had their dream home, they could be happy. But it's really just motivating people to do something, take action, and do anything that is going to make you feel happy in your own home, because we spend so much time in our house. Like, why wouldn't you want to do something that makes you feel good about it? So I think I had a boring 90s home, and I think what resonates with followers is they have a boring 90s home and they want to see like a modern house come out of that 90s home. I think that's what resonates the most with them. And also, I'm a mom. I'm running around with my kids a lot. Obviously, I have help with my kids as well, but a lot of times I am like, we laid our entire brick front porch with our kids running around. And it's kind of teaching them like, oh, mom and dad are working, or, mom's working right now. And, you just do it. And I think that resonates with people as well, because a lot of my followers are moms with littles, and, they want to do cool stuff and have their kids watch them do it as well. So yeah, I think that's what resonates most with my followers.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, thanks.
That patio job is how we came to get to know you and to see you. I saw your video even before we had met or had talked, and it was pointed out to me, given me by a stone and tile supplier that said, hey, you got to check out what she did with brick on the patio.
Yeah.
And I kind of smiled and I said, yep, that's Liz. She's got the project. You had said that you have an engineering mind, but an artist heart.
Yes.
How does that show up in your work?
Well, I think I am extremely methodical in what I do. Like, I will plan what's necessary. I'm not going to overplan, though. And I think I have an artist heart because I have a lot of visions. And it is home renovation is kind of like an art, because you're taking something existing and turning it into something totally different. So since I have that engineering background, and I've always loved doing calculations on paper and like making my lines perfectly straight. My roommate in college always said I could draw the straightest line of anybody she knew freehand. So I think that's where I'm the engineer, but then I'm the artist, I'm a dreamer, and yeah, I just want to bring to life something that could be,
It's very cool. When you get to meet any of your followers, what's one of the projects that they know you for? What's brought up most to you?
It's mostly just our home exterior renovation. Because Knoxville is a small town. I feel like whenever I go out, especially if I'm in Target with my kids, there's somebody that will come up and say hi, which I love. I love that so much. It's so fun to meet, people in real life that I've potentially already DM'd with. So yeah, they typically know me through the exterior renovation.
At what point when you were starting to work, did you realize as you were starting your channel that this was going to be more than a hobby? You talked about that early popularity and that you all of a sudden had lots of views. But when did it become kind of a reality of, hey, this is what I want to do?
I mean, honestly, when I decided to start the DIY channel, I told my dad, I was like, one day I'm going to have 1 million followers. And he was like, how many followers do you have right now? And I was like 15,000. He was like, how are you going to do that? And I was like, I'm not sure, but I'm going to do it. So I always knew that I was going to grow my channel. Once I figured out, probably after I did that bathroom project, I was like, this is it. This is what I'm doing. But I'm kind of hard-headed too. So
I love your projects. Not only do you show the work that you do, but some of the videos that you did afterwards, you've done some instructional videos of cleaning, maintaining the patio, the common questions of how do you keep it clean, or how is it working for you in the wintertime, and all of that. And you've done a lot of videos. What's the educational piece that you try and give your followers?
yeah, it's a balance, because I don't want to get into the weeds too much, but I also know that people really appreciate having that information. So it's a balance, but I just try to keep it relatable and entertaining while also showing them the process. Like a video is so good at, just showing how you mix the grout, how you lay the tiles. What steps I installed the edge bricks before I went to the center bricks, and I did all the bricks that didn't need a cut first, and then I did all the bricks that did need to get cut. So showing the tile saw, and honestly, how easy that is. I try to share more tutorials in my Instagram stories, and then as well as on my blog, and sometimes in my Instagram caption as well, so that there's always a resource for somebody who wants to know more about how to do something. So
That's great.
The balance.
It seems like the algorithms are always changing, right? And how you connect with your followers.
Yeah.
What tools are you using, or how are you adjusting on the fly to make sure that your content's getting out there?
Yeah, I pay attention to what is catching my eye on Instagram. What am I willing to watch? Because the best thing is when you can make like a 3-minute long video that somebody wants to watch the whole thing. I love it when that happens. But it's really like keeping a pulse on what's going on in the industry. I feel like the talking to camera style reels and videos are becoming more popular. So that's something I'm starting to lean into, but there's always kind of like maybe a little bit of nervousness to get into that new style. 'Cause when you transition from just recording yourself doing work with a voiceover to then talking to camera, it does feel different and it's a little more intimidating. But yeah, I think just paying attention to what style videos I enjoy watching, and then how can I put my own spin on that, and just practice. Just doing it every day, honestly, is I think what makes creators successful, because the more you edit, the better you're going to get at it. The more you share, the better you're going to get at connecting with your audience. And that's the whole goal, is to inspire other moms for me and just create those connections. So anything I can do to foster that community, just work at it every day, I guess.
There's a lot of truth in that across the board, right? Not just in content creation, but just show up every day and get a little bit better.
Yeah. And it is always changing. But that's just, you got to be adaptable in this industry, I think.
I love one of the things that you said about just doing it and actually starting the project. That's where I think everybody faces the biggest obstacle. Is you're excited, you get inspired by seeing your page, you look at a project. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to actually take that product and you're going to do it. You're going to put that adhesive on the wall. You're going to put the brick up. You're going to repaint. What do you find is the most helpful to encourage people to actually get over that hump of the apprehension or the anxiety about starting it and just getting into it?
Just know it's going to take longer than you think. It's going to take longer. My husband always tells me to multiply my project by pi in both the cost and the time that it's going to take. I think that was a lesson that we had in our first fixer-upper. Multiply everything by pi. It's going to take longer than you probably think. You might get surprised, but just have fun with it. Let yourself have fun with it. Put on a podcast while you're installing shiplap or the brick or whatever, and just have fun with it is my advice. And every project is going to get easier. I think you're going to have to pause and maybe learn a new tool. Like when I was installing the brick, I had to learn how to use the tile saw, and that was fun. And now I can use it anytime. And yeah, it's empowering, I think, once you learn how to use it. But just know it's going to take time. Yeah.
Liz, as we wrap up, what's next for you?
Oh, good question. That's a question I ask myself a lot. Part of me would love to get into flipping houses. 'Cause I think my husband and I would make a great team at that. But one thing I've always thought would be really cool is to get a beach house and renovate it, and then give it away to maybe 2 or 3 followers a year, like give them a week stay, like if somebody needs a retreat or something. That's always been something that I've wanted to do. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I just like to work on houses and create videos. So I think more of that in either one, maybe both of those two, avenues.
And a little giving back.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm super excited to be here. Yeah.
As we wrap up the Brick by Brick podcast, we'll stay tuned and we'll see you soon.